Okay, I'm recording a Secret Hitler tournament game. This is game 8. We have our votes here so far. It's a bit late for me to join, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. Here are the votes, they're all laid out. Okay, and he aims 5 fasters. Surprised he didn't ask if 1-5 was delayed first, or she. It's also kind of a poor investigation now, because, well, I guess TD block won't really matter probably. You can just play 3-6-7. Or 2-3-6 rather, 2-6 was blue. These are the govs. I don't think any of this chat really matters. Claims are standard. Yeah, this is all just bullshit filler. I just ignore it at this stage of the game. I honestly don't even read most shit until the fucking SE portion. So much nonsense and bullshit. People read way too much into shit that happens early on. If it's, I'm a bit sick by the way. But yeah, if it's not during SE, I kind of feel like that's like, it's probably the only chat that really matters. Like, I mean, Chancellor picks matter, and then there's like some pre-HD stuff that matters, but not a lot of it. Like, good fascists do this thing where they literally just like advocate for liberals when it doesn't matter, and then when it does matter, they advocate for fascists, and then they switch back and forth. Like, I don't know, but people say during the special elections what matters. And then once HZ starts, who gets picked chancellor, all that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean 4 looks like shit. It's what, 1 blue. So I mean, yeah, there's merit to like, I don't know. Actually, not really. You can't really pick for non-toucher here because that fucks up the tracker. And you don't really want a 9-7 because 4-7 can DD. So yeah, this is a standard gov. I don't know, I'm kind of just rambling. Nothing here really matters. So you might think, oh, why am I even watching? I mean, if you want to skip to when HZ starts, that's more than valid. I don't really give a fuck about any of this, to be honest. I think pre-HZ votes do matter. That's why I look into more than chat. So 3-7 getting 9'd by 1-4-5. That kills a lot of lines with 3. Well, not really, because 4 is also fascist. So, you know, if 3 is Hitler, you can just 9-4, and it's not really a big deal. Protect them, that kind of thing. Ideally, you'd want your reg to get their hands dirty and take the inv rather than Hitler. Keeps more win conditions open. That might have been what happened, but yeah, this is really the only interesting thing that's happened so far in this game was 3-7 narrowly passing and failing for 4-7 instead. And then 4 choosing to investigate 5 is just really quite bizarre. I don't know what their reasoning for that was. Perhaps they want to keep 3 and 6 in the game. That kind of fucks over 7. So that's something to consider anyways, is that it really makes sure that 7 will never play. So then again, maybe there are lines where, say, if it's 1-4-7 and 4-7 was a DD, if 1 dropped, 4-7 dropped, you can set up a lib to tank. But I don't think it's that deep, that complicated. I think 7's probably liberal, and 4 deliberately kept them out of play. And I don't really give a fuck about any of this chat. Obviously, 2-3 is playing. 4 made it, so there's no other option. So 1-5 was red. Where are we going? We're going to the inv. Yeah, that's... Investigating 5 is really poor. Especially since like you already have deck information too. Like 1/5 can DD, and in some, it's depending on what the deck is, it might be the case where 1/5 is almost always a DD to your perspective. So investigating 5 is just not really what you want to do. Like, okay, Mini thinks it's 1/5x already. Why'd you have to waste it on 5? That's stupid. One living 4 is poor. They're both RRR. It might just be 1/4x. Okay, one said that 4 could be reg. I mean, you're not gonna get a lot of good chat. People might just fast one for saying that 4 could be lib and walking it back, but I tend to give a lot of benefit of the doubt to these lower elo players. Like, they can say stupid shit, do stupid shit, believe stupid shit. Like, one saying that 4 might be liberal is just stupid as either role, so like there's no reason for him to do it as fascist, so him saying it doesn't necessarily make him a fascist. It just makes him, well, not playing well, which, it's kind of what we expect from lower drafts and Dark Koreans. And that's okay. Um, I might say someone's a bad player, but doesn't mean they're stupid either. Like, a lot of, like, it's weird. Like, I'll see someone who throws game after game in Secret Hitler, and then like, oh yeah, I have my doctorate. And I'm like, shit, you play so stupid, and you're a fucking doctor. And I'm like, how does that happen? And then I'm like, well, there's just people who play this shit for fun, don't really try and learn the meta, or all the deck odds, or any of that thing, and that's totally valid. Doesn't really mean you have to be anything, or, you know, do anything. But yes, 2-3 is forced. There's no other option. 2-7 is stupid because 3 is just playing next anyways. Maybe 2 feels like they're walking into a trap. There's merit, actually, to playing 2-5 and just accepting that 4 is outed. I don't hate that. And if 4 is lib somehow, you have RBB odds, unless 1 also dropped. In which case you'd have 2 fascists, which would make the game easier to solve, right? 2-5 is actually fine. So if 4 is lib, you're getting RBB, unless 1 dropped. Okay. So if 1 dropped and 5 conflicts you, then you know it's 1/5x. 1/5-6 is a blue spam line, so you can deduce from there that 6 is probably liberal on a 2-5 conflict. That's not a terrible way to play the game, but it relies on Higgler knowing how to play 1/5-6 lines. He might not. Newer player, but he's not a new player. I mean, I'm just going to call a spade a spade. He's a bad player. If he plays a red, he's capable of playing a red. He could also be Hitler in 1/5-6, not know who his teammates are. So, yeah. I 1-4. He actually played it in Yod. That's so stupid, dude. But that's the thing. It's like going 1-4 in Yang is stupid as either role. It doesn't have to make him a fascist. But I think the lack of fear kind of does indicate that. But I also just kind of think he's trolling. So okay, so to hit the RBB, we discussed that was a possibility given that it was 3B at the time. And 4B is only 10%. I like to just disregard the odds of it even existing most of the time. I don't live in 10% realities usually. It's just, when am I ever 90% confident on anything in this game? Very, very rare. So, I guess 3-6 is basically forced now, right? I think this will red and 2 probably gets SE. 2 is just a stronger player than 6. Can advocate for themselves better. They also didn't take Inv in 5B. They're the only RRB president. A lot of good reasons to like 2 this game. But if a green does something stupid, like this guy can make an SE. So things could easily go off the rails very quickly. Okay, yeah, so I kind of knew that'd be RRR, 38% odds, plus odds that this guy's fascist, so I mean, 2 is probably SE. I think 6 is probably a liberal with 2. If that's what we're gonna do. It's weird because I'm not playing from the perspective of someone that knows at least one player's role. I'm just kind of going into it blind, which makes things difficult. We can assume 4 is fascist. Um, so 4 is fascist. 2 tried to yaw 3-7 instead, which, I mean, it's looking like 3-4 might be 2 potentially. Maybe not. 38% is certainly very common. That's about 50-50. But yeah, it's looking like there's a world maybe where 3 was Hitler, 4 was regged, and the regs wanted Hitler to get the blood on their hands. I think that's a thing that exists. Do I still like 7? Uh, Probably. I think 2-7's a fine pick. So what even is the line then? So 4 is 1. We can start there. 1's probably 1. Um, just, I mean, the thing is that like even though it's a 5B deck and these players RRRs are covered for, what you have to remember too is that if these guys are liberals and there's 2 liberals with RR that are out of play, that means fascists are in play, right? And that means fascists are getting RBB and they have the opportunity to underclaim it and fuck a liberal over, and they're not taking it for some reason, which, you know, you can certainly do that. I mean, sometimes fascists will keep the blue count high to endear the RR libs to them. That's certainly a play you can make, but even if it's a high blue deck count, the fact that there are other people playing blues that aren't you still makes you look bad. So it's probably 1 for X. 2-5 is a fine pick. There's odds of 1-4-5. That's actually a thing that could exist. 1-4-5, 5H. We're 4 outs on purpose. But I think 4 is trying too hard, right? Are they trying to, yeah, they're trying to sound good and win. They're not trying to out on purpose. So I wouldn't really factor that in. But then again, 4 also knows better than to oversell it. So I guess that's a potential possibility. 6 gets SC. Ooh. That's... Who's SCing 6? Let's look at that. Okay, we can just control SC. Okay, 1 SC'd 6 first. That's, yeah, Higgler's a wild card. Okay. Then 3 SC'd 6. Is that what happened? No, 7 did. Oh. Okay. And 3 is trying to SC2. Interesting. So normally what you'd want to do in this spot is when you have 2-6 playing blues together, you'd want to SC2 because 2 can't pick 6. But 6 is, well, again, only 125 XP. Bad at the game. They're new. They don't play a lot. They might not be new to the site, but they haven't played a lot of games. So yeah, this is totally viable to instead SC the lower elo player and just abuse them. Like, that's totally a valid and valuable play. So, who was the last person to SC6? Oh wait, we didn't need one. 4-5's a conflict. Okay. Well, 7 sounds liberal. SCing 6 and asking for 6 too. You could be doing the Hitler metagame thing where like, oh, I'm asking for someone else to be Chancellor. That means that I'm not Hitler because I'd ask for myself to be Chancellor. That's like SH102. That's certainly something you can do. But, I mean, surely 6 just picks 2. Yeah, it's... Like, you'd be so stupid not to. Yeah. And with 3 SCing 2, basically, 3 was hard advocating for 2. Um, you have to wonder what's 2's fascist line? 2, 3, 4, I guess. 2, yeah, it's only 2, 3, 4. And if it's 2, 3, 4, I mean, okay, yeah, you can't really rule 2, 3, 4 out. That's fair enough, I suppose. From 6's point of view, 6-2 just seems like a layup, but it might be too easy. But then again, it might not be, because you'd think 3 should get SC. I mean, not 3, 2 should get SC, and when 2 doesn't get SC, they're probably liberal. I mean, 2 looks more liberal than 6, in my opinion. So, I don't know, 6 is probably trying to get set up. I think Bowser can handle it. I think 6-2 is probably the play. There's merit to 6-7. Right? If we just play based off of 4 outing fascist, 4's play make sure that 7 will never ever ever play. 4 can easily inv 2 fascist instead, and then once that happens, it's kind of forced to 9, 2, 7, 3, 3, 6, 6, 7. Yeah, 4 invs 2 fascist, 7 would have to play. So the way 4 is played is kind of deliberately kept 7 out, and 4 looks very fascist. So you could also go 6-5. I think there's actually a lot of good options here, but I don't think they're all liberal options. I think Hitler lives somewhere in... Well, Hitler might be SE, to be frank, but Hitler probably lives somewhere in 2, 5, 7. Like, it's surely not 1, 3, 4. I mean, I guess it could be. It could be 1, 3, 4, 3H, where 3 just gets screwed with 38% RRR. That's a thing that can happen. It's a valid, viable option. But if that's the case, you're already winning. Oh no! Okay, well, actually, let's think about this a little bit. Let's think about it a little bit. Would Hitler go 1-4 and yeah? Hitler? I don't think so. I think this is a CNH. I think he did pick a CNH. It's lib/reg, right? And 6 has a read that 1 would go 1-4 and yeah, as either reg or lib. I actually like that read because I think 1 knows that going 1-4 and yawing is bad to the table's point of view, that it'll make people not like him. So for him to do that as Hitler would be very bold. So I actually kind of like this CNH pick. I think there are odds, right? You don't really want to assume it's 1-3-4 and like everything goes your way, because if it is 1-3-4, you already win. So I guess the idea of this pick, and I actually do kind of like it, is that 6 thinks he's walking into some kind of trap here, where 2 is either being set up for Heil or 7 is. You know, if that's what you're thinking, I'd probably just pick 5, because 4 is clearly not trying to out on purpose. So, oh, are they countering? Oh, I mean, it could also be 1-5-6, so that can't be the line, right? Right? I mean, they all 9 to 3-7. But they didn't 9-4-7. They can. I guess. That's weird. You'd think that they'd at least one of them would try 9-5-7. If it's 1-5-6, you wouldn't want to play a red. It's possible legit RRR, I guess. But 1-5-6, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think 6 is liberal when people try and counter this, right? I don't think 1's Hitler. I don't think so. And if 1's CNH, which I do think he is, then 6 has no incentive to pick him as a reg fascist. So, yeah. I think this is just what you should do. I think 6 has a good read on Higgler because they play a lot together, and they do. That is a thing that happens. Bowser and Higgler would probably be in the same lobbies. And he thinks that 1's CNH or liberal, which I actually agree with that assessment. I think he leans far more likely reg, but not based on his chat, more so based on this ugly RRR here, and the fact that, you know, the most like common lines where 2 would be playing blues is if he's fascist with 6, but I digress. I don't hate this. I mean, the fact that so many people are unvoting means it's a CNH pick too, and it might even be a liberal pick. The fact that there's this much resistance to it means it could be liberal. Ooh, I don't like that from 7. I don't like that from 7. I don't like that. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, shit. So this is what happens. 2 and 6 are both liberal, but they're greeting over who gets to play. And that allows 3 to get in, right? Because if 2 and 6 just lose, like, trust and, like, loving each other because of this dispute over 6-1, though that kind of leaves 3 available, so to speak. And that would be a disaster, because 3 is, I think, very clearly fascist. I think 6-1's a reasonable pick. Um, I Yeah, as soon as 6 says I want to yacht 3, you have to stop being selfish at this point. Now, granted, 3 tried to SC2, and the other fascist didn't SC with them, so that's something to consider, I suppose. Um, ooh. Maybe there's lib equity there, but okay. So 7's countering to 3. 3 is like, well, effectively, because 6 is saying they're going to yacht 3. But if 2, 3 are libs, then what is the line exactly? Are you calling 146 1H? 156 1H? I don't think so. I just don't see it. Like, 1 doesn't sound like Hitler at all in this game. I mean, it's Hitler, so he could do anything as any role. He could theoretically just troll as Hitler. Um, but I genuinely believe that 1 is CNH, and that's... Oh yeah, 6-9ing his own gov, switching to 9 because of golden rule. He's so liberal, dude. Ugh, gross. Oh, shit. It's 145. That's crazy, bro. He did the fucking... He did not just do that. The safety 9 actually worked in a tournament in the big 2026. Safety 9 worked. Okay. Sure. I guess 1 was Hitler. Okay. Sure. I guess 1 can really do anything as any role. I think that's... Now, granted, I did say that I had 1 as CNH, but I had him as highly rig. I'm never picking 1 in this game, ever. Okay? I want to make that clear. Okay? I want to make that clear. I didn't hate 6's logic for the pick, but it's just... You're picking someone who's CNH, but almost always reg. They're just going to play red. Probably. Higgler might be bad enough to play a blue as a reg. So, maybe not, but sometimes you get a little bit too cute, and I can make this mistake too, where you try and get cute with it instead of just making the obvious play. But granted, I also like that 6-1 is like a big balls pick. Like, he had a read, and he picked the RRR, who went 1-4 and odd. He's not playing scared. I like that Bowser's not playing scared. So the question is, do we think it's 145 1H? In which case, what exactly is for doing ending 5 fascist? There's a 0 win rate play. I mean, 6 is liberal when he self-9s there, because of golden rule. Okay. You can... I mean, 3 tried to SC2, so whatever, I guess. Although, this is also a CNH pick. It is, actually. Because you would think if 3 was Hitler trying to SC2, that his regs would SC2 with him, because once 3 SCs 2, if 3 is Hitler and 2 doesn't get SC, 3 has no lib lines and is like one of the most likely people to get shot. So you would think that if 3 is Hitler, that his regs would SC with him so that that does not happen, even if 3 is term locked. Now, granted, I had 3 as having Giga Hitler equity before the SC discussion, based off of just how the 3-4 vote happened, where 3-7 got 9 for 4x. But whatever. 6 likes 3. Sure, that's... I mean, these are both CNH picks. This one has more lib equity. But I guess, what's the line where 3 is liberal in? 145 exactly? I mean, we just saw 145 vote together. But 4 would have to be playing very stupid in 145 1H, so who knows? You know, it doesn't have to be 1H. I think 6-1 passing is still better for 145 5H. Yes, I believe so as well. Yes, why am I talking to myself like I'm a different person? What do you mean, as well? Huh. I think it's just the way my internal monologue works. I digress. But in any case, I 6-3. I think this is I mean 134 1H. I mean 3H was one of my candidate lines prior to that last vote, but the game state has changed after that 145 vote. Dude. I think picking 3 is just... 3 was my candidate Hitler until SC. There were some things that happened after SC that made 3 look more CNH. And 6 picking 3 based on that is reasonable. You can look at the SC discussion rather than just tunnel vision on 3-7 votes. I'd like to factor both personally and avoid 3. I'd probably maybe go for... Well, I mean, you don't want to pick 5 after that, because 145 5H now looks like a very real thing. 7 wavering and flip-flocking. I think after you see that vote and lines being split that hard, it's pretty clear it's not 234 235, right? 1-7 has 1 minimum, right? That's what we learned. We learned that 1-7 has 1 from that whole debacle. 3 tried to SC2, 4-5 is a conflict. You should be going 6-2 there. But you found a CNH. And when 3 CNH, you tried SC2, their lib equity goes way up. Oh, I don't think 3 would conflict that. I guess 6 is a fascist. I guess. I mean, 6 has to shoot for Hitler. Ooh. Well, you're not getting GioIzHawt on 2. Why would 3 conflict this? Oh! Did 3 not find? If 3 didn't find, then I think TD36 would actually be more than 50% a liberal win. Because 3-6 is 50% RBB, plus you have top deck blue odds. So I actually, yeah, this conflict actually makes a lot of sense if they didn't find. I don't think the 2 should be talking to 6 like this when he has the bullet. I think 6 can be liberal still. I don't buy, like, it obviously doesn't look good for him, because, like, I think 3 doesn't even understand deck odds that well. But they also might understand that TD36 is next. There is odds that 6 is a liberal here, especially after that self 9 on 6-1. So, yeah. Is 6 Hitler? I guess that's a thing. You should probably yaw 7-2 when 6-3 conflicts, right? We just assume 1 is fascist. You should yaw 7-2. I mean, 6 is offering a 3v3, like, come on. I mean, it's veto zone, but, like, it's like, you're really gonna live in a world where 6 is fascist and 1's liberal? Really? That's what you're calling? Yeah, 7-2. 6 is offering it. 6 has liberal equity. 3 might not know that 3-6 is next. Or, alternatively, 3 knows that there's odds of 3-6 50% RBB plus top deck blue odds. So if 3 is very bad or very good, there are reasons why you would want to conflict 6-3 as a reg fascist. Absolutely. So 6 offering 7-2 is just very, very liberal. Because it's, what line does 6 have with 7 or 2? I mean, I guess it's possible. But why would 7 try to flip on 6's gov if 6 is fascist if 7's fascist with 6? Why is 7 trying to flip? Maybe 7's Hitler? That's the possibility, I guess. But if 7's Hitler, 6 can just pick 6-7 and pass. That's more likely to pass than 6-1. Yeah, you really should be yawing 7-2. I can understand being outraged with the way that 6 has played this game, and just wanting to assume that they are fascist. But that's just not how you should play Secret Hitler. Now you have to fully solve the game. It's, yeah, I mean, 7-2 is just, it's, you have to yaw 7-2 as C2. There's no reason not to. What line does 7 have with 6? It doesn't have one. There isn't one. Yeah, dude. It's probably just one, like, it could, well, it can't be 1-4-5. Yeah, it's, oh, and you pick 4? You just force top decks? Dude. That's so sad. I think 6 is liberal. I mean, 5's way more liberal than 4. I mean, 2 through gov, you can't yaw. You can't yaw. 2-5-7 will 9 it, and you can hope for a top deck blue, I guess. But yeah, that's just sad. That's so sad. Well, 6 offered 7-2. That's, yeah, you have to yaw 7-2. That's, oh, yeah. Yeah, 7, yeah, it's impossible for 6 and 7 to be fascist together. It just is. 7 tried to counter 6. 6 didn't heil 7. Like, no. And 6 also, like, looked very liberal when he self-denied on 6-1. And 3 has incentives to conflict as either a very good player or a very bad one. If they know deck odds, conflict is not a bad play. I mean, clearly it's working. They're going to win now, probably, because they chose the conflict. If they had blue, they probably have less win rate than they do now. Yeah. A very good red from 3. I'll give him that. Very good, if they did not find. If they did not find a blue on 3-6, that's a good red. If they did find a blue on 3-6, that's a bad red, because they get 3-6 next. So, yeah, 3. If you got legit RRR on 3-6, very well played. We could also, like, kind of RBB game a little bit, too. Yes. Okay. I mean, so what are you doing, though? Your 2 is saying if 6-7 both want to yaw, 2-4 you'll yaw, but they both wanted 7-2. So please just yaw 7-2. Oh. Well, you got bailed out, brother. You better yaw 6-2. That's my... That's my opinion. I think what 7 needs to do now... 7 just saw that 6 offered 7-2. What Omic needs to do, now that 2 has said that if 6-7 both want the government, that he will yaw it. 2 has stated that with 2-4, that if 6-7 both want 2-4, he will yaw. What 7 needs to realize is that 6 offered 7-2, genuinely and in good faith. He doesn't do that as a fascist, and advocate for 6-2. Now, granted, maybe there's a world where wowzer is a fascist, blah, 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 whatever, and I look stupid. But really, 2 misplayed by 9ing 7-2. Please, please, oh no. Yelling 4-2 is so bad. 4 looks so bad. Why would you yell 4 over 6 or 7? You have 7-2 as an offer, and you yell 4 instead. That's so gross. My heart hurts. Okay, he 9'd. That's good at least. So what is this? It's 25% of 3 dropped. And I do think 3 is the fastest. I do. Because 6 offered 7-2. I mean, if nothing else, 2 at least needs to call 6's bluff and say, yes, I will yaw 7-2. And then maybe the fastest will out the line to wowzer. Or whatever. Tell him to like... Okay. It's 156. Okay. Sure. 2 still needs to yaw 7-2. Just needs to do it. Just needs to do it. Granted, there's a world where this passes because of Schindler if 6-2 is lib-lib, which I don't know. After that last vote, I'm not so sure. But when 6 offers 7-2, you gotta yaw. Okay, so 6 was Hitler, 7 made a bad SC. Good on 2 for top ticking out, bad on 2 for not yowing 7-2 when it was offered. As for wowzer, well played on 6-1, I suppose. If you want a little piece of feedback, wowzer, you can, after 6-1 fails, you could ask, would 7-6-6-7 be an option where you get just hiled instantly? Maybe. Not really sure. Anyways, when 3 SCs 2, you should just SC 2. I don't know why Omic is SCing with 1. That's very poor. Right. I guess he thought it was 2, 3, 4. What's 4 doing this game, by the way? Ew. If 4 just investigated 7, this game is so much. It's very hard to lose, actually. Because what, 7-2 or 7-3 is forced to play next? And then 3 would probably pass after that? Yeah. 4 played garbage, frankly. What the fuck is Investigate 5? That's the biggest throw of the game. You wasted investigation on a fascist that was already out of play. If you had a blue line 1-5, you should play it in 1-5-6 lines, because when you red, you're taking out 2 fascists and only getting 1 red in return. You need to get 3 reds on the board, so chances are you're going to need all 3 of your guys to play, and you're more likely to get a red, red, red second deck. And what else do I have for criticism? Sheesh. 3, you played very well. I'll say that. You played very well. I love that you stalled and advocated for SC2 instead. 7 didn't listen. Not much you can do there. And yeah, that's all she wrote. We can look at the deck. We already know what all of this shit is. Legit RR. Okay, Higgler played fine. He did go 1-4 in yaw, but like, Higgler's gonna do that. In 5 is stupid. That was a decisive throw in my opinion. Well, there's 2 decisive throws. 4 investigating 5 fascist, but 7 can still find SC2 even if 4 is fascist, so they both threw the game in their own special way. But that's fine. I've thrown my share of games too. It happens. Not the end of the world. Omic, certified good player. I was really hoping I'd be able to draft him. Didn't work out. So Mini ignored Golden Rule again. That's another decisive throw. Most people want to 9-6 when Mini yaws 6 and 6 self 9s. Yeah, at that point, that was an opportunity to save the game based off of a major, major mistake, and you played bad twice, and that cost the game in another way. So, whatever. I haven't played with Mini before. I don't know how good or bad they are. And yeah, that's all she wrote. Did Bowser find on that 6x gov? Yeah, he did. Okay. Whatever. That's all she wrote. Good games. I don't even know what that screenshot was. I don't care enough to crop it out.